Ask the Doctor with Michael Lange begins in 30 seconds. Ask the Doctor with Michael Lange begins in 10 seconds.
When it comes to your health, are you seeing the check engine light come on more than normal? It's time to get under the hood. It's time for Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lange. Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortify Vitamins. Dr. Lange is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lange.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host as usual, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida, and Fortify Vitamins. We're here each and every Saturday morning live to answer any and all questions you may have regarding your vision, eye care, or a nutritionally related topic. I'm not only a board-certified optometric physician, I'm also a certified nutritional specialist, and I've been hosting Ask the Doctor since April of 1993. A lot of you picked me up when I had a drive time show here out of Tampa Bay every single morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. I was even on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. Did that for many, many years. Now we do it on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays, and then they run our tape through a variety of stations throughout the country, and we're constantly adding more and more affiliate stations. And we'll talk more about that in just a bit. You can also pick us up on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, what is that other one? Instagram, Pinterest, all over the place. Check us out on my personal website, drmichaellange.com. That's drmichaellange.com. Lange is L-A-N-G-E, drmichaellange.com. But also, we talk a lot about nutrition on this program. We talk about nutritional wellness, nutritional anti-aging, what foods to eat, what foods to avoid. We created a diet called the Lange Survival Diet, and you can learn a lot more about that at our website, fortify.com. So that's Fortifeye, fortify.com. Let me give you the phone number for Fortify Vitamins. I'm going to give it to you twice, so you can write that down. If you have any questions regarding anything we talk about in this program, you can call Fortify Vitamins. They can get in touch with me or Dr. Richard Hall, and that number is 866-503-9746. One more time, Fortify Vitamins, 866-503-9746. We got a lot to talk about today. I just want to shout out real quick before we go to Doc Hall. I want to shout out to Fred and his crew at 2 Year Health Spa over in the Lady Lake area near the Villages, Florida. Fred has actually made some amazing meals for us, the Lange Eye Institute staff, on Thursdays. All organic, grass-fed beef, the best burgers out there, but he's got everything. He's got salads. He's got burritos. He's got burgers. They got breakfast, lunch, and supper. So if you want a great place that's non-GMO, can truly care about you, To Your Health Natural Cafe, right there on 441 in the Lady Lake area, just right outside the skirts of the Villages. It's at the 2 Year Health Spa, and it's right in front. It's a building. It says Natural Cafe. And they got a vitamin shop in there. Has all of our Fortify vitamins there. So if you want our vitamins, they have the entire line. All right. Good morning, Dr. Hall. How are you? What we got going on today, my friend?
Good morning, my friend and colleague, and happy Saturday to all of our listeners out there. We're glad you're here with us. I had several of our listeners listeners already National Day it is today. Well, believe it or not, it's National Bow Tie Day, and it's National Cherry Turnover Day. I don't make these up, folks. And of course, it's always National Hat Day here at beautiful Salem Studios.
I forgot a hat.
Oh, there you go. See, I do have a little bit of breaking news here. I'm gonna jump in here real quick, and then I'm gonna turn it right back to you, Dr. Lange, and do an even follow up on that. But have a little bit of breaking news. We're both very proud to announce that Ask the Doctor has been asked to air our show in a dozen new markets across the U.S. Very proud of that. Some of the markets that we're going to be going into: Chattanooga, Tennessee; Pensacola; Shreveport; Alexandria, Louisiana. We've got Tucson, Albuquerque, and we've got Bakersfield, California. We're all the way out on the West Coast, and we've got several more too. And so with your continued support, folks, and loyalty, we are now wide. Dr. Lange, you started this show almost 30 years ago, and in a little studio right in Ocala, Florida. This is one of the longest running radio shows, if not the longest, in the U.S. So congrats to you. And thank you, too, for allowing me to be your co-host. I'm very proud to be on the show, and love all our listeners out there and all the feedback they give us back. So we love all of you, and we thank you. But Dr. Lange, maybe you expand on it a little bit about the new radio shows.
Right, we are real excited. And these stations, also Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, these stations are going to be simulcast at the same time with us at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's hard to find good stations that are available from 9 to 10 our time so we can simulcast live. Right now, we're on a lot of different stations throughout the area and throughout the country, but we're adding those. And then we've got that's 12 of them. We got another 32 stations that are going to be coming online with us that won't be live, though. They'll be running our shows on different times during the week. So essentially, we've got another 40 new stations added to Ask the Doctor. So our reach is continuing to expand. I mean, I don't know how many millions of people we reach now, but the whole idea behind this show is to actually help people become proactive in their overall health, help as a preventative approach to maybe give them some good information that could help potentially slow down the dreaded aging process and help them be healthier and live a longer, happier, more visually fruitful life. All right. Once again, I'm going to open up the phone lines. We got a few people on hold here. If you got a question, give us a call at 1-877-969-8600. Let's go to the first call of the morning. Everybody knows who that usually is. You got to be pretty early in the morning to be Bob. Bob, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, doctors. Well, what a beautiful Chamber of Commerce day we have here in Ocala this morning. It's beautiful here this morning. Good to talk to you both this morning. I have a quick question for you that'll be an easy peasy one, I'm sure. Been reading some more lately this week about NO and its effect on heart, blood pressure, and whatnot. And I see a lot of thermal imaging of the human body before the ingestion of NO and then after. A very simple question. How long of an effect does NO have on the body?
Wow. You said that was going to be an easy curveball, an ether ball. Once again, I like to say I know a lot about everything, but, I don't know a whole lot about this. I'm going to let Doc Hall expand on this in a second. Nitrous oxide is a way to stimulate vasodilation of your blood vessels and helps with circulation. Bodybuilders are notorious for using it. We have a system in our Fortified Fit where we use L-citrulline that converts to L-arginine that converts to NO. And so it helps with a pump when you're working out, and it helps bring the valuable nutrients to your muscles. It's great for peripheral neuropathy. It's great for men with erectile dysfunction. And, things that have high L-arginine are beets. Beets are very good. You can take L-arginine. L-citrulline has been shown to work better than L-arginine. So how long does it last? I don't know. That's something I'm just not totally aware of. Doc Hall, can you expand on that? I mean, that's something I have to research, but you're an icon in this area, so you might know a lot more than I do.
I do about that, about the NO. Basically, the NO that we're talking about out there, you really can't buy nitrous oxide and put it in your body, either drinking it or pill form or whatever. What these are precursors to build this up in your system. And as you said, Dr. Lange, it's L-arginine and L-citrulline. And those are, I like citrulline a little bit better. It's a little bit softer on the system. You and I, about 3 or 4 years ago, we started developing FIT, our muscle fuel. And mainly we were driven. I mean, we knew what we wanted to do, but we were kind of driven too by the abuse, I will say, of arginine and stimulants and things like that people were using in their pre-workouts. And so we developed FIT without the stimulants, without the caffeine, and without the arginine in there. That people tend to overdo that, and too much of a good thing, folks, is too much of a good thing. And so you have to be real careful with that. To answer Bob's question real quick, Bob, it's just like any supplement, really, in the system. It's probably going to stay in your system and do its thing for especially the arginine or citrulline, a very short time, probably in the area of 2 to 4 hours. It's going to be doing its vasodilation and things like that, bringing more blood to the muscles and like that. And again, as Dr. Lange said, that's why bodybuilders and athletes like it, because it gives you that pump and it gets that blood to the muscle. It's also used for recovery. That's part of our recovery process and our FIT is it gets more blood to the muscle. And so you're looking at probably, Bob, about a window of 2 to 4 hours totally.
Excellent. And you know what, I'm going to chime in on this. Our Fortify Fit, we developed for athletes, but one of our largest segments of the population that is benefiting is our geriatric population, the plus 60, 70, 80, even 90-year-olds. And when you think about it, Doc Hall, our Fortify Fit, our moms are on it, and they're 94 years of age. It helps build muscle, helps build endurance, helps build strength, right? And there's many things in our Fit that actually help reduce the chances of accelerating neurodegeneration. Some of this is backed by good clinical studies, and L-citrulline being one of them, the creatine, the astaxanthin, and the L-citrulline helps the vasodilation effect, so it helps get to not only the muscles, but to the brain. And now what I like to do is add a little curcumin to that, Fortify Fit, and a good form of curcumin, like the one that we recently came out with, that's Fortify Next Gen Curcumin, fueled by curcugen. You got to remember, most curcumin is not bioavailable. Most of it is almost a waste of money. Curcugen is the newest form of curcumin on the market. We elected to use it because we think it's the best on the market. It also helps delayed onset muscle soreness and ROMs as well. So now the combination of Fortify Fit with Next Gen Curcumin, not only for young athletes, pro athletes, older athletes, but for the aging population, to help us age a little bit more gracefully so we have more strength and we don't fall. If we do fall, maybe we don't get the concussion syndrome and traumatic brain injuries, because the creatine does help that. So anyway, I got off the subject, Bob. I got on a little tangent because, I love Fortify Fit. We developed it. It's called the Ultimate Muscle Fuel, but we could call it the Ultimate Anti-Aging Fuel too.
Doctors, I'm going to have to start taping these. You give me so much information, I just find hard to keep up with it. Thank you again, both of you, for your time and your effort that you put forth in your search of nutraceuticals. Lord willing, we'll come up with another question for next week. It's getting tougher, though.
All right, Bob. Thanks for the call. Have a great Saturday. And remember, you can always go to our website or to our YouTube channel and pick these up. I mean, the podcast channels are on hundreds of different podcast channels throughout the country on the internet. But just go to Ocular Health Channel. That's YouTube, Ocular Health Channel. You might put Dr. Michael Lange, Ocular Health Channel. And we've got all these tapes, shows for the last, 20 years or so up there. So you can look at the title and listen to some of these tapes if you're bored and you want to see things. And listen to it, because you can see and hear. Now, before we go to the next call, I want to mention today's a big day for Fortify Performance Nutrition. We are already downtown Tampa this morning. We got the crew down there. My daughter, Mackenzie, Arlene from Fortify Vitamins, Michael from Fortify Vitamins, my wife, Tammy, and the rest of the crew are at the Tampa Fit Expo. It's going on today, all day from 8 till 5 or so, or 8 to 6, and then tomorrow also on Sunday. So you come down to the Tampa Bay Convention Center, the Tampa Fit Expo. It's huge. Bodybuilding contests, CrossFit contests, weightlifting contests. They have booths set up with the latest on nutritional support for the muscles and for, slowing down the aging. We're right when you walk in the front door. You can't miss us. We have a huge booth. We're one of the big sponsors of the event. So right when you walk through the door, you'll see the Fortify. I'll be there about 10:30, 11 o'clock today. So come on out. We'll be giving some good deals on all the Fortify products, and you can actually buy them there. We brought pallets of the Fortify products. All right. I think we've got Michael, who's been waiting patiently. Michael, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Good. Dr. Lange, back, I called you and talked to you about stem cell research. I have a son that unfortunately lost his sight due to an autoimmune disease, and it attacked his optic nerve. And at that time, you said that it was just the infancy part of the stem cell that you had researched. I was just wondering if that had matured any, if you had any recommendations. I know there's a lot of, I was talking to Dr. Hall yesterday about it, and he said there's quite a few advances in that. And I just wondered if you knew of any for the optic nerve, if you had seen anything having to do with that.
Well, they're doing lots of research on inherited retinal diseases and optic nerve diseases, okay? And these are for people that usually have a gene variant. That's where there's a change in their DNA, basically, a change in the sequence of the DNA, and they're born that way. It's genetically born that way. And some of the diseases that they're doing the research on right now is retinitis pigmentosa, Usher syndrome, Stargardt's, cone rod dystrophies, but also Leber's, all right, Leber's disease, and that can affect the optic nerve. And so it's pretty exciting, the arena stem cell research that I got to admit now, currently, the biggest research is being done with geographic atrophy of the retina and with retinitis pigmentosa. But there are a lot of animal studies and early clinical studies with humans on the optic nerve. But first, they want to master the retina, and they got a couple of different approaches that can be parlayed into optic nerve disease as well. But one approach is the regenerative approach, and where they're using human embryonic stem cells, and they're actually using that in macular atrophy. That's a form of macular degeneration, Stargardt's disease. And they actually do transvitreal implantation of these lines of basically RPE cells that they develop in the lab, and they basically inject it into the retina. And there's a lot of positive animal studies and human studies, and that's called the regenerative approach. And then, if I recall, there's a process called the trophic approach or something like that, where they actually pump these stem cells under the subretinal space in the retina and help to rejuvenate the retina. So I think for people with retinal disease, that's going to be stem cell technology is going to be before optic nerve disease. However, some experts might, beg to differ and might say I'm, foolish and don't know what I'm talking about, because this isn't a total area of expertise, but obviously know a lot more about this than the typical layperson and most physicians. We do have stem cells now, however, Michael, that we use actually at the Lange Eye Institute, a variance of stem cells in the forms of drops, regenerized drops for dry eye patients that have corneal dystrophies, not retinal dystrophies, and dry eye. And also we have amniotic membranes, different types of amniotic membranes, some that are moist and some that are dry, that help to infuse stem cells, human stem cells, basically from the placenta of women, that help corneal problems. So we started first with the cornea because that's the most anterior portion of the eye, all right? Then we're working with retina, which is further back, and then optic nerve will be after that, okay? Yeah. But
Yeah.
These studies are very promising, and I do have to tell you this now. They have other studies, Michael, that have nothing to do with stem cells, where they've literally taken people that don't even have eyes. I mean, no eyes. They've lost their eyes from trauma or disease, and they're putting like a pair of glasses that has a tiny camera on the glasses, and they use a lead wire instead of the optic nerve that they connect to the visual cortex.
I've
And
heard about
they're
those. Yeah.
getting vision, and they've actually taken patients that were blind and done this system. It's kind of like a bionic eye, if you will, and put these
Hmm.
patients in cars. Now, they're not driving down the Autobahn, but they're able to go through a maze without hitting the sides of the maze. So
Wow.
that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'd heard a little bit about those, but hadn't heard anything about any of the stem cell coming forward. And I heard exactly what you did. They're starting in the front and moving to the back. So
Michael, is it both of
yeah,
his eyes or just one of his eyes?
both of them. What had happened is it just kept trading sides. He would lose some vision on one side and then the other. Of course, they tried with steroids.
Right.
We were at Baskin Palmer a lot of time up in Gainesville, of
Right.
course, and we fought it for about 7-8 years, but he finally lost the battle. So
And does he have
that's
any
the
vision
reason.
at all? Hand motion, light perception?
Nothing at all. It's all white. So
All right. So what he needs to do, and that's easier for me to say than sometimes for people to do, he needs to really try to get in the best shape of his life. I mean, he can still exercise. He can ride stationary bicycles. There's a lot he
yes,
can do,
hmm
even though he's
yeah,
blind. And I'm sure he's excelling as much as he can. But he needs to
yeah,
especially take some things, eat the nutrients that are good for his brain. Because remember, you
hmm
see with the brain, right? The eye
right,
is just the
right,
organ that transmits it. And I see too many people that go blind from a disease or from trauma, and they get very depressed and they become obese and they get very unhealthy. Triglycerides go up, cortisol goes up, inflammation goes up, and then obviously the brain starts to deteriorate as well. So I would, eat a diet consistent with the Mediterranean diet, or better yet, the Lange survival down to his ideal body weight if he isn't there already. And I would probably supplement with a few nutrients like omega-3, but in the triglyceride form, curcumin, coconut oil, things like that. I would supplement with it. And of course, you can talk to Doc Hall about the stuff that we've developed. When we develop a product, we research it completely. We want the most bioavailable, best form for the best price. Now, remember,
mhm,
Michael, this is not a miracle cure by any means. All we're doing is giving the nutritional support to the brain and the entire body. So when there is something, whether it's stem cell implantation, stem cell injections, a microchip implant, the body won't reject it and the body will take it better. So that's my
yeah.
words of
He
advice right
actually
now.
did. He actually did go back to school, and now he began teaching other blind people Apple products
Awesome.
and the JAWS program.
Yes,
So
talking programs. Yes, absolutely.
yes,
So
yes, he did. So
yep. So there is a lot of good programs now with the technology we have that enables people that are totally blind, vision impaired, to still
yes,
lead a very successful life and have a job and teach others, and he's doing that.
I,
So
yes, yes,
I commend
exactly.
him.
Yeah, great. Hey, one real quick question. You talked about the non-stick frying pan. This is a different subject, obviously. Do you have a recommendation for something that's a non-stick that doesn't have the negative effects?
Right, because you don't want a lot of the I can't even think of that chemical PUFAs, uh,
Yeah,
whatever that
yeah,
is. That
whatever it is.
when it heats up, it's
Right.
really bad, very bad for you.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I actually, believe it or not, I like cast iron. Okay.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
got some written down at my house, and if you want to shoot me an email, I can tell you the one that I've researched. I just can't think of the name of it right now. But cast
Okay.
iron, you season it, with a little oil. Cast
Yeah.
iron,
Yeah.
they have not found anything really bad about cast iron so far.
Okay. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much.
All right, Michael, take care.
We'll see you guys later.
Doc,
Thanks, Mike.
it really is. We see a lot of patients in the business that we are that become vision impaired. I see it in the clinic. Patients that have diseases like giant cell arteritis and they go totally blind, or retinal dystrophies, optic nerve congenital dystrophies, trauma. diabetic retinopathy, all these things. And you'll see that many people, if they're, educated, I guess, they can continue leading a abundantly fruitful, happy life after they lose their vision. Now, obviously, we don't want to lose our vision, but life is not over. Now, as long as you have good hearing and smell, you hone in on those senses and you can do very good. So, obviously, we don't want to lose our vision. And so, we getting the right amount of sleep, a little bit of sunshine, wearing your sunglasses, hydration, all of this, doc, is a cumulative effect. It acts cumulatively to help slow down the aging in every cell in our body, not just the eyes. Now, isn't that correct, Dr. Hall?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to thank Michael for calling in today. He and I had a very, very good conversation yesterday about his son and general health and like that. And I was so impressed with his son, what he's done with his life, despite the vision, or lack of vision, I should say. Very impressed, and we're going to be talking again soon. But again, thank you for calling in. So I just want to chime in just real quick here for about a minute. Stem cell research is one of the most heavily researched topics in all of medicine, and especially in sports medicine. Stem cells are also referred to as the master cells, and they have a potential to do what I've named the stem cell 3, and that's repair, replace, and regenerate. And they do that. They regenerate the cells. Professional level athletes are really leading the way in research and excuse me, heavily involved in new testing and therapy protocols. Even better is the stem cell therapy is being used in all levels of disease and illness, from cancer to MS. And so it's a very, very huge field. And folks, this isn't science fiction type stuff. It's real, and it's being worked up to a higher level every single day. So if you think you have some possibilities there with that, do a little research. Ask your doctors. Because there's a lot of things going on out there that you really need to know about. So, but again, thank you, Michael, for calling in. I appreciate it. And back to you, Dr. Lange.
All right. You're listening to Ask the Doctors. Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute, Dr. Richard Hall of the Lange Nutrition Center, and Fortify Vitamins. Give us a call. Remember, no matter how simple or complicated the question is, we'll try to answer it to the best of our ability. 1-877-969-8600. That's 1-877-969-8600. Remember, check us out on the web at fortify.com. That website has totally been renovated in January, so it's very easy to maneuver through it. You can press on conditions, macular degeneration, joint pain, dry eye, wellness, performance nutrition, and you can actually click on whichever one you want to look at the vitamins that were developed for that condition. So go to fortify.com. That's FORTIFEYE. Remember, I'm an eye doctor, so it's a little play on words. Fortify.com. And I urge you to look at the bundles. So we've taken synergistic blends of different supplements that work together, and we created bundles like the healthy weight loss bundle, the performance stacking bundle. Okay. So many different bundles, the macular degeneration bundle. And we give you a dramatic discount. So if there's 3 vitamins in a bundle, you would pay significantly more, 30%, even 40% more. You're getting about a 40% discount on many of these when you factor in the free shipping. Shipping cost has gone way up, all right? So we are giving shipping for free. Most shipping is between $8 and $12, $13, depending on where it's going. We're still doing free shipping. We haven't raised our prices at all. Everybody else in the industry has. Whey protein has doubled in price, and everybody's raising the prices. We haven't raised the prices at all. So go to the bundle section and check it out. Also, sign up for the auto ship. It's convenient for you. You get 15% off on auto ship, and you get free shipping, and it comes to you every 3 months. You don't have to worry about it. You can cancel it anytime. You don't get an additional 15% off on the bundle, however. The bundle is dramatically discounted. It's the lowest it's going to go. but you can still get auto ship, so it comes to you every 3 months. But if you're just going to buy 2 to 3 bottles of regular vitamins and it's not in a bundle, if you sign up for auto ship, you do get 15% off. All right. I see that we have somebody asked me a question here on Instagram. Dr. Lange, love your show. Dr. Hall, great comments. You were talking about a protein a few months back that stimulated testosterone in men. Huh. Well, I did mention that very briefly. I didn't expand on it for long, but you're absolutely correct. There's a lot of good studies showing that a good grass-fed, non-denatured whey protein stimulates testosterone production in men. So, another good reason to take whey protein. We preach about whey protein in this program all the time. And a lot of people out there say, oh, my doctor says I can't have dairy. Dairy and whey protein are two totally different things because dairy is milk protein. Whey protein comes from dairy, but all the bad in the dairy that people have reactions to, like the casein and the lactose, has been removed. So whey is the most bioavailable protein known to man. It has the highest biological value of any protein, far superior at building muscle and strength than any plant-based protein, egg protein, hemp protein on the market. Much better than casein protein. Whey protein is the protein, are none. Now, everybody's not going to drink whey protein because it is derived from cows. So there are plant-based proteins that you can have, but the majority of plant-based proteins are garbage. I repeat, the majority of plant-based proteins you buy over the counter are, in my opinion, pure garbage. And why is that? Because they're filled with not only pesticides, because they're not certified organic, but filled with anti-nutrients like oxalates, lectins, phytic acid, FODMAPs, gluten, these things that are terrible for you. So if you're going to get a plant-based protein, make sure it's certified organic, all right? And it is either fermented or sprouted. And I got to tell you, Doc Hall and I have been working on one for quite a while now, and we're still not satisfied with the products that we're getting. We're searching for all 100% certified organic. And it's got to be American, maybe England, maybe Canadian, but no Chinese vitamins are going to be in this. And it's hard to find anything, but we're still working on it. We've just about got it completed. So whey protein, once again, testosterone production. If you're an athlete, good thing for that. But whey protein, yes.
I didn't mean to interrupt there, but
chime in.
I just wanted to add a little bit of something here. People are going to think this was a setup question and all, but absolutely not. I'm involved right now in some research and a research protocol on, for years, everyone's looking for that secret answer, that big answer to low testosterone,
Yep.
or even ED, erectile dysfunction concerns. And you know what we're finding out? Now, it's not conclusive yet, and it's still in the testing and research area and stuff, but we're finding that causal link between low protein. A very simple fix. Now, that's, it's not a medical thing or anything I'm putting out there or like that. Nothing like that at all. But we are seeing that folks that are on the charts with low protein, they have low testosterone and they're experiencing ED problems. And so now, again, not conclusive, but there is a causal link between the two. So you are absolutely right on the money, my friend, when you said that, there is a link there between protein and testosterone. So I just want to throw that little bit in there that, yep, it is absolute fact. And it's even, we're expounding on it as we speak.
And, also think about it. Dyes and sugar and things like this can also cause testosterone to drop. And think about it. All you men out there listening to this program right now, what'd you have for breakfast? All right, some of you had a cup of coffee. Some of you had a bowl of that sugary, not to mention any names, that sugary, colorful cereal. Probably not the best thing in the world to start the morning. You had a bagel, virtually no nutritional value. Oatmeal. I mean, oatmeal, if it's organic, it's good for your gut because it's high in fiber, but it has no protein. You had a piece of toast with some butter. All right. What are you having for breakfast? Breakfast should be your highest protein meal, but it's not, is it? So, have some organic eggs, goat cheese, put it and saute it in coconut oil and wrap a bunch of vegetables, kale and spinach and mushrooms, and put some garlic and onions in it. And, have some green tea. You can have a cup of coffee. That's fine. But protein for breakfast, or better yet, you don't want to have eggs every day. Have a good protein smoothie. So take our Fortify Super Protein. It's in vanilla or chocolate. No artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners, no binders or anything like that. No sucralose, God forbid. And take a scoop of that. That's 20 grams of protein. And maybe put some A2 cow's milk in there, another 6 to 8 grams of protein. Throw some organic blueberries and some kale and some spinach and maybe a half a banana, and blend that bad boy up. Drink it down. You've got about 30 grams of protein. You got all the antioxidants from the fruit and the vegetables. You're good to go. But remember, the gist of this little conversation: get some more protein for breakfast. And make sure you're getting at least half your body weight in protein. That's what I recommend, a minimum half your body weight in protein. If you're an extreme athlete, then you got to get a lot more than that. But our Fortify Super Protein, we researched this forever. We use New Zealand grass-fed cows. Now, what's the difference is most of the protein you buy over the counter doesn't tell you where it comes. So you know what? Where is it coming from? That's right, the other continent, Asian continent. And they don't say non-denatured because they're using milk that is from feedlot cows, that genetically modified grain and growth hormone to produce more milk. And then that milk is pasteurized to 200 degrees for over 30 minutes. That destroys it. It's dead milk, dead protein. That reduces the immunoglobulins, and the all the immune building properties in that protein is destroyed. So our protein it's called cold pasteurization, 72 degrees, not 200 degrees, for 15 seconds only. So that means non-denatured to undenatured. So it increases the bioavailability and the immune building properties of this. It's not dead milk, basically. Remember, this type of whey protein is very high in immunoglobulins, lactoferrin, CLA, and covalent bonded cysteine. These things are great for building your immune system. One of the best ways to stimulate glutathione, the master antioxidant in your body. But also, you're getting the protein, all the essential amino acids and branch chain amino acids that your body needs in the whey protein. Check it out on our website, fortify.com, and look at Fortify Super Protein. It's either vanilla or dark chocolate fudge. I guarantee you'll love the flavor and you'll thank me down the road. Whether you get the Fortify supplement or not, at least we're educating you. You can look at the ingredient profile on these supplements and go to a store and try to find it. Make sure it says where the cows come from. It's non-denatured and it's grass-fed. Grass-fed means it's higher in omega-3 and not high in omega-6 like most of these proteins. All right, we're getting ready to take another call. If you got a question, give us a call, 1-877-969-8600, 1-877-969-8600. I got to just chime in really quickly. We have been doing a procedure at the Lange Eye Institute that I'm going to brag about. I got to tell you, we have done all these procedures over the years. We did LipiFlow, we did iLux. LipiFlow was very expensive. These are ways to open the meibomian glands to help people with dry eye. iLux was also very expensive. And now we're doing something made by OcuSoft, and this is called Thermal One Touch. Folks, it's only $300. That's not a lot of money considering what it does for you. It is painless. You come into the doctor's office, we put a pair of glasses on you that has a instrument that's been designed to actually put a little mild pressure on your upper and lower eyelids, right at the tarsal area where the meibomian glands are. It puts a little pressure and it heats them up. And then I come behind you, or the doctor comes behind you, and use a special little instrument to gently press on each individual gland to evacuate the garbage, the lipids, and the viruses and the Demodex mites and the eggs and the bacteria that's in those glands. So we're cleaning out those glands. It's $300. That's for meibomian gland dysfunction. If you have these thick eyelids, you have dry, sandy, gritty, burny, teary, itchy eyes, and you've tried a lot of things and nothing's worked, go to your local eye doctor. ophthalmologist, optometrist, or come to the Lange Eye Institute, ask for the OcuSoft Thermal One Touch. It's not covered by insurance, but at least it's only $300. There's many procedures out there. They're charging over $1,000 to do it. So this is $300. It's not a bad deal. All right. We're going back to the phones. Heather, good morning. Thanks for holding.
They're charging over $1,000 to do it. So
What? Heather, turn your radio down. Heather, you there?
we're going back to the phone. Heather, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Heather.
Charging over $1,000.
All right. We're going to put Heather on hold and we're going to go to Alice. All right. Let's see. We're going to go see Alice. Alice, thanks for holding. Good morning.
I'm here. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes. Is this Alice or Heather?
This is Alice.
Okay. Hey, Alice.
Okay. I'm calling because of my sister. Are you an ophthalmologist or anything to do with eyes?
Yeah, I'm a board certified optometric physician and a certified nutritional specialist. So yes, an eye specialist.
Yeah. Okay. My sister, who's 68 years old, all of a sudden, I mean, there's another thing. She did have 2 vaccines, okay, and 2 boosters. She all of a sudden has one pupil larger than the other. She went to the ER and they did all kinds of tests and said everything is fine, but they suggest she goes to a neurologist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that this had to do with the vaccine, or you don't? Or
Yeah, I mean that's hard to say. I mean, I don't think anybody would be able to say that. But if she's over 60, you said 68?
Yeah.
And she's got a blown pupil. First of all, we have to look at the pupil and see if it's totally blown and does not react to light. If it's huge and it doesn't react to light versus just mildly dilated and it reacts to light, okay? That tells us a lot,
yeah.
all right?
Okay.
And then if the size difference is larger in the dark versus direct lighting, that tells us a lot too. So a blown pupil can be just idiopathic. That means nothing to worry about, no known etiology, but it also can be a telltale sign of a potential neurological problem. It can be what we call an 80s tonic pupil. It can be a Horner syndrome where you got a smaller pupil on one side. So the question is one pupil larger or is one pupil smaller? Okay. And a neurologist or a competent eye doctor can help determine this. But here's the kicker. If just the pupil is a different size, that's one thing. But if she has atosis, that means one lid is sagging more than the other, and she has
I don't think that's happening. That's not happening at all.
Good, and no double vision, because that's what we worry about. If we have atosis, double vision, any pain in a blown pupil, that can be a third nerve palsy, and that's an aneurysm at the bifurcation of the internal carotid and the posterior communicating oftentimes. That's life-threatening. So it doesn't sound like that's her problem. And also trauma can cause this, okay? If she was hit in the eye. She had no trauma.
She had nothing. Nothing happened to her eye.
Yep. So obviously she probably had a CAT scan or an MRI done of the eye, of the brain, right?
She had a CAT scan. Yeah.
Good. So they want to make sure, number one, there's not a brain tumor. Number two, there's not an aneurysm or she had a stroke. Those things they want to make sure of. And that's been done. That's ruled out. Those are the most concerning things. But there's other things that can cause it. She probably needs a lung x-ray because there's something called a Pancoast tumor that can affect the apex of the lung that can cause Horner syndrome. But Horner syndrome would usually be a smaller pupil on one side and then anhidrosis. You can't sweat on one side. So
she does have a small one pupil is larger than the other. Definitely.
Right. So I would, I think a neurologist is probably a good idea. That's probably not a bad idea. A neuro-ophthalmologist is a good idea too. So one of those, where do you live?
Sarah, she lives in Albany, New York.
Yes. Tell her to get an appointment to see a neurologist or a neuro-ophthalmologist. Okay.
Okay.
A neuro-ophthalmologist might be the best one to go to because they'll know immediately what's going on. Okay.
Okay. That's great. Yeah. Thank you. I will.
All
okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Take care, Alice. Bye-bye. All right. We're going to go to the next caller here. If you want to check us out on the web, go to fortify.com. Those are the supplements that we've developed. They're all evidence-based supplements. That's FORTIFEYE, fortify.com. The phone number for Fortify Vitamins is 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. Remember, today about 11 o'clock, I'll be at the Fit Expo And the booth, right when you walk in the front door, that's in Tampa, in the convention center, downtown Tampa, the convention center. It's today and tomorrow, the Fit Expo. Come on by the booth and chit chat. Let's go to the phones. I think it's Patricia. Been waiting patiently. Good morning, Patricia.
Good morning, doctor. I have macular degeneration. I've had it for about 3 years, and it's getting progressively worse. I have the dry type. I'm in Florida also, and I'm seeing a doctor. I just moved here actually a year and a half ago, and I'm seeing a doctor who deals with that, and I've taken vitamins, and I'm on the Arid 2 vitamin, over the counter.
Right.
And I tried a couple of things that he suggested. I had one of the pharmacies that just deals with these problems out here, and they have their mixtures of potent things that can help. And I was able, I wouldn't take I don't even know the name of it, it's some kind of chemical mixture, but I opted for the one that you could just, put eye drops in. There's also one that you can take internally, and I said I'd rather not because there are side effects. It was originally, you probably know what it is, what the formula is, but it was originally developed for people who had fits. They had problems, I guess, with the nervous system. So that's why I opted out on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it. I had 6 weeks supply. It was very, very expensive. And I took it for half that time. And most of the time, my eyes were burning. And when I didn't have the burning, I had blurriness. I see things abstractively.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an artist besides. So, it's been tough for me to deal with this. Now, I've been told by several doctors, I came from New York, okay? And so I had a specialist there who said, because you have the dry, Patricia, you cannot take the shots.
Right.
Because I had friends that had shots. Now, I met a woman down here just the other day, and she is a retired teacher, and she deals with children not with macula, but with other things.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a relative who had the dry, and they were able to take the shots.
Right.
And I said, "Oh, you must be mistaken."
Right.
She said, "Well, I think it depends on what kind of dry you had." Now, I didn't know that there were other kinds of dry, if there is.
Right. Patricia, let me chime in on this because we're running a little bit out of time. Number one,
sure.
macular degeneration is a nutritionally, it's a disease that can respond to proper nutrition. So I'm going to go pretty quickly here, right? So pay attention. I would eat plenty of dark green leafy vegetables that are cooked, especially kale, all right? Wild Alaskan salmon and orange bell peppers. And believe it or not, eggs. Eggs are good. You can have an egg omelet in the morning, but you can saute some wild Alaskan salmon with spinach and kale and orange bell peppers and put an egg on top. That's the perfect meal for macular degeneration. You need to wear your sunglasses when you're in the sun. I want you to go to our I want you to go to our website and look at fortify.com. That's FORTIFEYE, fortify.com. And I want you to go to a supplement on there called Fortify Next Gen Complete. Okay. Fortify Next Gen Complete. And look at the evidence, look at the discussion that I write on that and why each one of those nutrients is in it. I just developed this. It just came out. I've got hundreds of patients on it with macular degeneration. It is not a miracle cure for macular degeneration. However, it gives you the latest of the latest evidence-based science in a supplement to support retinal health, okay? And I agree, you don't need a shot in the eye if you don't have to have one. So you don't want to get a shot in the eye for dry macular degeneration right now. Only the wet form. But the whole goal is here is to keep you from turning dry to wet, okay? So you're going to eat the foods we discussed. You're going to go look at and research that Fortify Complete. It's Next Gen, because remember, we have one called Fortify Complete, and we have one called Next Gen Complete. I want you to look at the Next Gen Complete. Good. And wear your sunglasses, exercise. If you're overweight, lose weight. If you're good weight, stay a good weight. Okay.
Okay.
And Patricia, then
right.
tune in to this radio show every week, and we'll go over a lot more with you. And you can call another time. Call earlier in the show. Okay.
I will. The only reason I called you, my daughter actually went out to pick up a few groceries. And she said, she called me and she said, Ma, you have to call this man because, I'm so stressed out. I mean,
Right.
I'm an artist, but besides that.
Well, hang in there. The music's on. Hang in there. Keep the faith. Tune in next week, okay?
I do.
All right.
I do. Thank you so much, Doctor.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate
You're welcome.
the info.
Dr. Hall, we got 39 seconds, so you got 30 of those seconds.
All right, good deal. Folks, one thing I wanted to chime in earlier, and we just didn't have a time, was, you know what? If as the old saying is, the proof's in the pudding. Look at our protein label. There's 2 ingredients in there. That's all. Compare it to the other guys out there. We now have 60 servings for $59.99. So, choose wisely with that. Thanks, everyone. It's been fun and our pleasure. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. See you at the Fit Expo today and tomorrow. And next week for sure. Please tune in. We'd love to see you.
Out of here. Have a great day.